Hey guys, welcome back to the Yarnquisitions Knitting Podcast. I'm Victoria. You can call me Vic or Huseline or whatever you want. Let's see. Oh, and we do fiber arts, mostly knitting and crochet, but sometimes like kumihimo or whatever I feel like. But right now it's just knitting and crocheting. I hope you got a beverage. Mine is super cold because I made it at 9 a.m. And I'm drinking coffee with like 10% Kona because that's like the only coffee I can drink. It's not like acidic or like weirdly it's not like overly bitter either, and it's like I think it's a medium roast, so it's kind of a lighter coffee, and I always have to like put sugar and milk in it because black coffee is like too bitter and strong for me. And I got this cup at Yellowstone when I went in, I think, spring of 2019. I can do like a little review of going there, I guess. At the end, like after what I got or what arrived. So we could do that if you're interested. So about Yellowstone, Grand Teton. Yeah, but I went in the spring, so there wasn't any like snow or anything. So yeah. I think like April, no, not April, like May. Or is it June? I don't remember, but it was kind of chilly. But anyways. Okay, we'll start with something old, I guess. Or what I'm wearing is the Pavlov Pullover. I think you've seen it before, especially on me. And I'm pairing it with a dress that you've seen me wear once before. I think when it was like there was another heat wave, and there's like a billion heat waves in the spring, so I kind of don't even count them as heat waves because it happens every spring. Especially in like South Bay or like South San Francisco Bay Area. So like San Jose, Santa Clara, Milpitas, Gilroy area. Yeah, it just fluctuates crazy in spring. So that's like anywhere from March to May, February to May, pretty much. And our like winter is like November, December, and January. I mean, our winter is basically, nights are like 36 or below freezing, if it happens at all. Well, I think it only happened once this year and this winter, I don't know. And then yeah, I think the high in winter is usually like 60. That's our high. So it's not like unbearably cold, but it's pretty chilly, which is like most people's springs, I guess. And then spring can range from like 60 to 80. So that's a huge like swing. And it always happens like one day it's like 80, and then the days right next to it are like in the high 70s, and then it just like, it like graduates and then just keeps going up and down every week. Like 1 week is cold, 1 week is hot, and then another cold, hot, it's like stuff like that. And if there's like rain, then it stays cold for another week. Which, you know, there isn't that much rain anymore, so sucks. But I just wanted to show you real quick what my finished Ingrid sweater looks like on a hanger. I think this stretched out a little bit because I like put it back against my chair, and I like leaned on it, so it like flattened it a little bit, but yeah. That's what it looks like. Oh, and the back. It looks so good and professional. But yeah, and it has like what do you call it, like German short rows on the sleeves, and it just makes it look slanted, but when you wear it, it doesn't, like, you only see this part that's slanted, but everything else on the sleeve looks straight. So yeah, which is pretty interesting. Okay, moving on to an old finished project. I don't know. OFP. This is, dude, it's huge. It's like 3 feet large. I don't know. I think it's almost 4 feet or something. But it's hard to put it in the frame because it like drapes too much, because I think I used a half size too big, because this is a worsted weight yarn and it's acrylic. So yeah, I mean, it looks good, but it like buckles a little because there's not enough, or there's too much fabric. I mean, can you even call this a fabric? There's like too much, there's not enough space between, or there's too much space between, I don't know, but it buckles, so technically it can never lie flat. So that's why you always want to crochet doilies really tightly. But you don't want it too tight either, because then it'll just keep wanting to buckle like this. Like the whole thing will try to it'll be curved like this. But then now there's like too much, so it like buckles like that, or you know, when it lays flat. That was like not explanatory, like I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it'll just never lie flat all the way. Like when I put it flat, it'll like buckle like this at the bottom, or it'll like look rippled. So yeah, so always choose the right hook size for doilies, because this is a worsted weight yarn and I used a 5.5 millimeter. I could have used a 5 millimeter or a 4.5 or a 4.25 millimeter for this. I mean, 4.25 might be like stretching it a little, or might be too difficult to use because worsted weight yarn isn't that, it might be too big for 4.25. But yeah, let me think. Yeah, definitely 5 you can do, 5 millimeter. 4.5 might be good. But 5 definitely you can do. Yeah, so I recommend 5 for worsted weight yarn for doilies. But if you want a looser fabric and you're not making doilies, 5.5 is fine. It just might be kind of big. Yeah, I think I recommend 5 in general. If you want tons of drape, 5.5 is where it's at. Yeah. But excuse this, is like so much like cat hair and like stuff on it because I let my cats use it, and it's kind of fun for them because when you put them over them, like you trap them kind of, they can still see through it, and so they become very like playful, so they want to like attack your hands or, you know, chase after another cat because they feel like protected because of the weight of the doily on them. But yeah, I mean, both of the cats react the same way, and they're like their personalities are super different. So yeah, definitely recommend giving it a try if you have a cat and you have like a doily with like tons of holes in it, like this, like not a compact doily, like just like something like this. And I think they'll enjoy their playtime. Let's see. Is there anything else I want to say about that? Oh yeah, and the pattern, I got it from somewhere online. And I also didn't write it down or anything. So you're good luck finding it if you want to use it. I can't even remember what it even looked like. I think maybe it could have been charted. Maybe. I think I made it this big so I could see what it looked like when it's like huge, because the dimensions was for like definitely a lighter weight yarn. Definitely crochet thread, so yeah. I mean, when I made it, I meant it for it to be like a rug, but because it's so drapey, it didn't work out. So I let the cats use it. Can you tell that if a big doily doesn't work out, I just let the cats use it as like something to keep them warm, because it's acrylic, so then it's like warmer than cotton. But yeah, I've always been, or not always, but these days I've been thinking about making like something out of wool for them for like winter when it gets chilly. Yeah, because they really seek warm places when it gets really cold, like around like 65. That's when they start curling up more, I guess, when it's cold. Yeah. Okay, drink break. And if you hear my cats, they're like going a little crazy. Cat hair. Okay, so I think I worked on this a little bit since last time. Not 100% sure, because it's been like a long week, but it's coming along little by little. I think it looks more like what it's supposed to look like right now, because I'm on the body and I did quite a bit. So you can see it's slowly shaping up little by little. I think I can see how it fits. And it's like super stretchy because the pattern has so many like pearls in it. So yeah, it'll definitely stretch out. Definitely more than 24 inches around. So 24 inch is like my waist. It used to be 25 because I like overate a little bit. Yeah, my waist is back to 24, but my butt didn't shrink, so yeah. Anyways, so yeah, definitely will fit me. Might be a little loose actually, in the waist area, but other than that, I think it should be fine, because it will stretch quite a bit. But if it stretches when I block it, that might be too loose. But I'm making the smallest size, so I have no options to make it tighter. So, and then I started on, oh my gosh, so many ends. I started on a test knit, and this is just the strap. I'm like lagging behind everyone else in this test knit. And I feel kind of bad because I've just been working on something else. And I even posted on Instagram, so I feel kind of bad. Because the designer follows me on Instagram, and yeah. But I haven't been working on it because double knit is not my favorite. And I have to do 2 straps before I can work on the body, and yeah, it's just been a little bit. I'm using Lindy chain double-stranded because that's just what I have on hand. I meant it for something else, but then decided against it, so now I have this. Yeah. But yeah, I've just been lagging on it, so I might work on it today, or like when I talk about Yosemite, or not Yosemite, Yellowstone. They start with Y's. I always get them mixed up when I talk about it, so yeah. And I finished the yoke on this, or almost finished the yoke, but there's no more increases, so I think I'm finished with the yoke. Where's the yoke until you split for sleeves? That is the question. I don't know which one it is, so you can tell me. But yeah, it's so light pink, and yeah, it just looks so good already. But I'm using the 40-inch cable. I'm like, this is larger than 40 inches, like, that's kind of big. But I don't think it was supposed to be larger than 40 inches. Well, maybe for the shoulders, because shoulders are huge, but it's supposed to be like a little oversized, or like 8 inches ease. I'm getting freaking hair stuck on my lip though. mean, it must be the mohair or something. But yeah, I really like the pattern, but it's kind of like annoying to do so many yarn overs. Like, Jesus Christ, so many. Because like there's like tons of yarn overs here, and then yarn overs here, and then yeah, I don't know, there's just so many. And then there's twists, I guess you could say, on the middle section, and there's like 3 charts that you follow for the lace section. Like the first lace is 1 chart, this is the 2nd chart, and then this is the 3rd chart. So yeah, all 3 are charted, but separately, I guess you could say. But yeah. But mohair is like surprisingly stretchy because what do you call it? I mean, the stitches are much larger than the strand, because the strand is like freaking lace weight, super lace weight. I'm using new needles that I will talk about a little later. Yeah. And I like tripped over it yesterday night, and I broke the yarn. So I don't know why, but I always break the yarn when I'm not knitting, like actually knitting with it, but I'll break the yarn if I move away from knitting with it. It's like, ugh. So that kind of sucks. And I used 1 skein already, and 1 skein went all the way to the middle of the last charted section, so it went kind of a long way, surprisingly, like 1 skein. So I'm like, will this even use 6 skeins? Because that's how much it says that it'll use, but now I don't know if it'll use that much. We'll see. But if it uses 5 skeins, I might use it for something that have 5 skeins of mohair for, the green one. But yeah. Maybe something else. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it's so like light, fluffy, and yeah, the cherry blossom color is just so nice. It's like the perfect baby pink, or not baby pink, but like pale pink. It's like the perfect, or my perfect color. It's the soft silk mohair by Knitting for Olive. So yeah, and I bought it off their website. And this is how much I've used of the 2nd skein, so kind of a lot. And I'm at the part where it's just stockinette stitch until I reach the desired length, and then split for sleeves. So yeah, just a ton of stockinette until I split, which at this rate, I think I'm just gonna blow through like half this skein or something. Oof. I'm keeping it in this bag. So yeah, I think I showed that last time as well. So my new needles are by Kinki Amibari. Is that what it is? Let me look through. Wait 1 second. Yes, kinki amibari is the Japanese name of the company, and seeknit is its international name, I guess. But yeah, it's can you see that? No, it's too dark. Okay, well, it says seeknit here, and then it has their like little logo on the other side. And I got their cherry blossom fabric case thing. I didn't actually know it was made out of like such soft fabric. I thought it was a stiffer fabric, but yeah. And it has like a Velcro thingamajig here, and then it also has a Velcro pocket on the front. I mean, I guess it'd be the back for like, if you're opening it like a Japanese style book, it would be, this would be the front, this would be the back. Yeah. And I got, so this is what it looks like in the inside. It has like a plastic covering thing. It's clear. And it has like quite a lot of slots. I think it was made for their full set, but they don't have any slots for the smaller tips, like the 2-inch tips. They don't have any smaller slots. And this case came with the 4-inch tips. So these are like a little longer, or twice as long as their 2-inch tips. And I got the 2-inch tip set of 4 in their small size. And their small size is basically just 2.5 millimeter to 3.25 and 0.25 increments. So yeah. So it's 2.5, 2.75, 3 millimeter, and then 3.25 millimeter. So that's the gist. And I got the short and long ones in, or 4-inch and 2-inch ones in small. But yeah. And I found that they didn't have that many cords, so I had to buy 2 extra, 1 extra of the 5-inch and 1 40-inch. And I'm using the 40-inch one already, and it's already like maybe not long enough, so I'm like, but I don't have any cords that's longer than 40-inch, so yeah. I didn't think it was worth investing in, yeah, and it's already costed quite a bit. And for whatever reason, each set only comes with 2 stoppers, so I bought like 2 extra sets of stoppers. But of course, I'm only working on one project right now, and I bought enough cables and stoppers for like if I had like 2 other projects on these needles, which I probably will eventually. And each set comes with 3 cords, but each cord is like different lengths, but some overlapped from the 4-inch and the 2-inch set. So yeah, so I have like double of the I think they're the one that makes 16 inches. So yeah, so I'll have all these cords, and then one more. Wait, did I already throw it away? And then, oh, yeah, these cords. But each pack comes, or each cable that you buy separately is only one, and I just put the other 5-inch in here from the 2-inch set. I also bought some interchangeable joints because you never know when you need these, and the sets didn't come with these, so I thought that was kind of strange. But it's in a set of 2, so why not? And the interchangeable stoppers. Their stoppers are like quite small, but I thought online it looked big, but I guess these are like super tiny cables anyway, so they don't really need like a huge stopper. And they're so tiny, like the cords, it's like 1.8 millimeters, so yeah, they're super tiny. And one of the things that I struggled with when I was working with these is that the let me see. I find that when I was working with the mohair, that it like stops right here. Like it has trouble going over this join on the cable for some reason. And that's like really annoying. But it was only when I had yarn overs. So I guess the yarn over just maybe make it too tight or something to like go over. But yeah, that's the only time that it like stopped there. But if it's just regular knit and pearls, it's totally fine. And I actually didn't know that there's like brass fittings. Like these are brass, so that low-key kind of sucks, especially when I was making the first few rounds of it was like the first chart of the mohair or the jules genser. Sorry, I keep forgetting to introduce the name. And this is the olive top, okay? And this is the jules genser or jules sweater, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I had trouble with the first half of this. So then you can see that the brass had rubbed off on it, making the mohair and the silk strand look gray. So yeah, I was not happy with that. But now that I see it like this, you really don't see it that much. But when I was working with it, or when I was like working on that first half of the first chart, it was really apparent. But now I think it's less apparent because there's more fabric, so it doesn't stand out as much. And it also didn't help that my hands were sweaty. Yeah. And because I was in JROTC and they had us polish brass insignias and stuff that you like wear on your lapel, I just know that gray stuff or like when you rub like metal that has been tarnished over time, because brass does tarnish. And I'm surprised they didn't put like a clear coating on it. But yeah, brass does tarnish over time, and that like gray stuff can come off if your hands are sweaty. And then like your hands smell like metal, and that's not what I like about bamboo needles. Because these are bamboo needles and they're quite expensive. Because all of the stuff that I just showed you is like $170, which includes tax and tip, or not tip, but tax and shipping, because it ships from Japan. And yeah, that was really expensive, but I mean, they're super lightweight, so yeah. I mean, I am happy with the purchase because I needed these interchangeable needles, and I don't like metal needles. So I'm glad that there was an alternative to the Chiagu needles. And the cables are really nice because they like swivel at this joint. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, they swivel here. So then if you like twist your stuff, it doesn't get stuck ever. So just keep twisting like this. And that's what makes it not unwind. No. That's what makes it not unscrew when you're working on it here. So you can twist however you want and it won't unscrew. But yeah, you can screw it on with just your fingers, but sometimes because I'm like freaking crazy and I always screw things on like super tight, because that's just my like natural habit, it like hurts my fingers a little. But that's just my bad, honestly. But yeah, you don't really have to screw it on that tight. You just have to make sure that it's just tight enough to not unscrew itself. But yeah. But it is kind of slippery though, because you do have to like hold that brass fitting on the cable and then hold the bamboo needle on the other hand. So yeah, that's like one of the things. But yeah, I mean, the only downside is the brass fitting, but as long as there's no very little moisture comes into contact with it, it should be okay. It might be a little harder on the 2-inch ones, but on the 4, and there's also a 5-inch set, which I didn't get because I think 5-inch is too big for my hands. Yeah, so yeah, for 2-inch definitely there could be problems, but I think if I just like not touch the brass fitting, it should be okay. But I don't know. But if that doesn't bother you, then this is perfect. Yeah, I just have like, I'm super anti-metal. Yeah, and then so I got that on Etsy, and then because that's the only way you can buy them directly from Kinki Amibari, and I have no idea who else stocks it in the US. I mean, I could get it from Canada, but it's like Canada's shipping is ridiculous. It's just as ridiculous as like Japan, so I'd rather get it from Japan. Cause I think shipping was like $19, but it came in like a few days, so I don't feel so bad. Cause I use FedEx, so yeah, super fast. before I cut open the whole thing, I got this from Colourmart. Of course I bought it. Maybe in excess a little bit, but yeah, these were the ones I wanted the most. I mean, I have plans for some of it, and some of it I just got to pair with another yarn. And please excuse the rustling. And I think one of the cones got smushed or something. Let's look at it. It's so smushed. But I don't know if it got smushed because it was like in this packaging, or if it must have got smushed or during shipping or something. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that the yarn doesn't come off the cone as I unsmush it. Is that a thing to say? Unsmush. I mean, the cone cardboard is like super like rigid, so it's kind of hard. But yeah, I got 3 more black ones because I want to hold it double for something, for like a skirt. That's why I wanted to hold it double. And then I have 1 cone just in case I run out on the other cone, and then 1 cone just for sampling. So yeah, maybe a little too much yarn. But if I have extra, I can always make something else. But yeah, black, merino, extra fine merino, 16 micron, mixed with vicuña, which is like super fine, but you don't feel it because it's only 2%. So yeah, merino in black. I mean, I wear black like all the time, but not recently. But I have like tons of black pants, skirts, and shirts or long sleeves. I think all my long sleeves are black. But yeah, I've been trying to branch out in other colors, so yeah, that's why you don't really see me wear black, because all my sweaters are not black, because knitting with black is so freaking hard on the eyes. But I think it won't be too hard with this one, just because it's like a 10 ply. You can see like that the plies aren't like shiny or whatever. It's like a interesting texture, because it's like, it looks like really corded, but it's not corded. It's just plied together in a tight twist. But even though it's twisted tightly, it's like still bouncy, so that's kind of, you know, interesting. And then I got Cashmere and Atari. Atari is just the name of the color. I don't really know what it means. But it's like a heather tonal. It looks exactly like the Drops Fog mix that I have in the Nepal base. It looks like the exact same color. So I mean, I guess I gravitate towards this kind of color. And I got 2 cones because I'm gonna hold it double, because this is like a lace weight, I believe. If I hold it double, it should be fingering weight. So yeah, and I wanted to use cashmere just because it's like soft and like it makes a lighter garment. But yeah, heavy lace weight, it says 1360 meters, so it should be about that much, so enough for a sweater. I mean, cashmere I can only wear in winter anyways, so yeah, even no matter how thin it is, okay, like it's just gonna be warm, because I hear it's warmer than merino. So merino's pretty warm already, even in the fingering weight. So yeah, just gotta find a pattern for fingering weight stuff, or maybe I don't know, something else. And then I got this to pair with the aquamarine, what is it called? The aquamarine finito yarn that I have so much extra of. But yeah, this is in the color acqua, and it's their mohair that they special order from an Italian mill somewhere. I don't know. It's kind of interesting because there's like one super thin strand and one thicker strand. And it's, let's see, 80% mohair, 20% silk. So 10% mohair than the soft silk mohair, and 5% more mohair than the drops mohair. So it's pretty fuzzy, as you can see from the top, super fuzzy. And then like this part is not fuzzy, but then it's fuzzy on the bottom as well. So yeah, it's a little too green, but then if I use the other one that I just bought, then it's too blue. So it's in between these colors, so I'm just gonna use this because like that's what I bought it for. And yeah, aquamarine, that color, aquamarine, and the finito yarn is just super hard to color match because it's like slightly gray and it's in between, smack dab in between blue and green. So that's why aquamarine is super hard to color match for. So either you lean more green or lean more blue. So I leaned a little greener, or this leans a little greener, just a little bit. So I don't know, it might not look too different compared to the other one. And this is the other mohair that I got 2 cones of because I want to make something single-stranded, and then I can just pair this with something else. I mean, technically I can pair it with the cashmere, but I don't know, I like the cashmere on its own, and the heathering is so nice. And this leans more like purple blue, and this is more of a true like turquoise. No, not turquoise. Maybe it is a little turquoise, but the color is Celeste on their website, on colourmart's website, and each cone is 1400 meters, and it's 150 grams. So it's basically the equivalent of 6 skeins in mohair. And I calculated that as well. So yeah, each cone of this is 6 skeins in mohair. And if you hold it double, then you'll have extra at the end. Because I think for double-stranded mohair patterns, for at least X small, you usually use 7 skeins. So yeah, you definitely have like at least 5 skeins left over, or 5.5. Yeah, so yeah, I don't think I'm gonna hold them together because I think it would be like too warm for what I wanted to use it for. Because I want to make a blue version of the Jules genser as well, so I can use it in the summer. Oh, I almost dropped it. Yeah, so I can use a blue mohair sweater in the summer, or a pink one, depending on the outfit I have or I'm wearing. So yeah, I'm really satisfied with this purchase. And yeah, I just want to cast on more, even though I have 3 projects I'm working on and then 1 on the back burner. Because that's sweater number 9 I haven't even worked on this week. So I've just been working on the Jules genser this whole time. Yeah. So that's 8 cones of yarn, and yeah, it's quite a bit of money, like 200 something. Drink break. Okay, I'm just gonna work on this. Let's see, where's the other? So yeah, I'm just gonna work on this while I talk about my trip in 2019 to Yellowstone. Because I went on was it like a tour, I guess? And we went to Yellowstone, Grand Teton. I really want to go back to Grand Teton. It was so pretty and picturesque, and yeah, because there's like a plain, and then there's like 2 mountains on each side, and like, wow, that is so nice. And it was so calm there and very quiet. So that's why I want to go back, because I've never experienced something like that before or since. But yeah, for Yellowstone, I was not ready for the sulfur smell. And of course on that trip I felt really bad because I don't do well on long road trips, and I didn't know how much driving was required. I mean, I didn't drive, it was like a bus tour, but yeah, just being on the bus was so like torturous for me because I have like high anxiety, and being trapped on a bus is like, it just makes my anxiety go through the roof. And yeah, I was not having a good time health-wise, I guess you could say. Health-wise, it wasn't good for me. Oh yeah, and we also like swung by like Las Vegas and like the Grand Canyon. And I'm like, why do we even go there? And we also went to like Salt Lake City. I do not want to go back to freaking that Salt Lake in the summer. Like, I can go back to the city, but not the actual lake. because that was kind of disgusting in the summer. Maybe in winter it's better because there's like snow and like not a shit ton of freaking flies everywhere. Like that was so no, because I have a huge phobia of large flies, and there's large flies everywhere at the lake. So yeah, I hated that. Let's see. But yeah, for Yellowstone, I just wasn't ready for the sulfur smell, and you have to be super careful because there's like wood bridges and stuff. But if you like, which is really scary, I actually didn't know just how bad the sulfur geysers were until like after the trip, which is like, maybe I should have done my research a little, but yeah, definitely stay on the paths. Do not even step into any body of water when you're at Yellowstone. That shit is so toxic, and like, if you go into the wrong pool of water, you can disintegrate in 5 minutes. Like, you'll literally die. Well, not 5 minutes, but you know, like, if you wait too long, or if it gets too long for the paramedics or whoever that comes to like rescue you or tries to rescue you, like, you basically won't make it. Yeah, there's like, I think I watched a video by Fantastic Horrors, FH, and he did like a story compilation of like deaths at Yellowstone, and wow, that stuff is bruh. Yeah, don't step into any body of water. I mean, I know that accidents happen and stuff, but like, you know, make sure your kids don't run if you have kids when you go to Yellowstone, because I think that contributes to like a lot of deaths as well. And there's also like collateral deaths because they like try to save like a dog or something. Do not bring pets to Yellowstone either, because I think dogs don't realize, well, obviously, because they don't know any better. So make sure your dogs are on leash if you bring a dog, or any kind of animal. Make sure they're on leash, even if it's a bird or something, because if they like land in the water, they'll just die. Like, there's very little chance that you'll be able to save them. But if your like hand goes in the water, I think you get burned or something, even for like a second. So yeah, it's very, very toxic. Yeah, just be extra careful. And if a hat goes in there, just leave it. If any belonging goes into those bodies of water, just leave it. Don't even pick it up. Don't even try. Like, literally, your life is way more important than any belonging. Even a phone. Like, if your phone goes in, just leave it there. You know? It ain't worth it. Because you won't come back out alive. Like, and if you do, it's a fucking miracle. Yeah, so I mean, when I went, there were like a lot of warning signs everywhere, but a lot of people don't follow it, and it's ridiculous how many people don't follow it. I mean, when I was there, people did follow the rules and stuff, but yeah, don't walk off path. If a path is blocked, don't go there. If there is no path, just don't go. Basically, is yeah. If you don't think it's safe, just it's better to not risk it. And there's a lot of geysers that are like dormant or not active anymore, but yeah, don't try to be like brave or whatever and like step on there, because you never know what's in it. So it could just be mud and then you just get stuck. So yeah, be very careful at Yellowstone. It's a huge park. National forest is what I meant to say. Yeah. And I got this at the gift shop, where a very active geyser is. I think it blows a shit ton of water like every like 10 minutes ish, which is like really frequent for a geyser. But it's been so active for so long that they built a gift shop right next to it. So yeah, it's pretty funny to me at least. And it's super crowded there. But yeah, you just gotta be careful. And at Grand Canyon too, be careful. I think in 2019 we went to the Antelope Canyon, and I 1000% recommend the Antelope Canyon. It's so pretty, and yeah, it was so worth it, even though it was like 100 degrees outside. But in the the Antelope Canyon, it was like 10 or 20 degrees cooler, and I think they call it Antelope Canyon because antelopes or like deer or whatever go into that canyon before there's like a lot of tourists, just to cool off, you know, during the height of the heat, because that heat is so brutal in Grand Canyon. It's just so brutal. And I also went to see, I forgot what it's called, and it's like super famous. I should know it. But it's like the Grand Canyon like body, like the river, the U-shaped river that like looks so good in photos, but in real life it's like it doesn't look as good. And then I low-key died on the hike there because it was so hot. It was so freaking hot. Like, I cannot stress that enough. Over 100 degrees, okay? And I didn't bring enough water. So that could be why too. But yeah, I mean, I just can't handle heat when it's over 100. And there was like no shade. In the Antelope Canyon part, there is shade because it's such a steep canyon, and it has like tons of ridges, so it creates lots of shadow. And they have like a pit stop kind of covering where the buses wait, so that's fine. But then there was only one little small like gazebo type thing on that hike to that river, that famous U-Bend River. Maybe it's called the Bend, I don't know. Yeah, that hike was brutal. I felt so miserable. I mean, can you tell this whole trip I like felt so miserable. But yeah, it was like 8 hours a day on a bus. That was brutal alone. Like, holy snaps. Was not ready for that. And I low-key got blindsided because I didn't even know that it was gonna be like that brutal trip. But yeah. We also went to Jackson Hole, but I didn't go up because I got like super high anxiety for some reason when I was there. So I couldn't go up the, what do you call it? The ski lift, or like the lift. But the mountains were pretty, for sure. I can't remember what else we did on that trip. Oh yeah, and then like, I didn't realize how like sparse Nevada really is, because like there's so many small like towns, or not so many, there are like no towns in between. So there's like big stretches of land in Nevada where there's like nobody there, and that's really scary for me because I live in Bay Area. I've always been like a city person, so just like basically you could live off grid in Nevada and no one would know that you're there or that you died, basically, in some parts of Nevada. And I think the only big cities are like Las Vegas, Reno, and maybe the capital city of Nevada, but I've never been, so I can't say for sure. But yeah, so around Tahoe, which is Reno, and then Las Vegas are like the super populated areas. But yeah, other than that, there's just super tiny towns everywhere else. Which, you know, I didn't know before. We had to drive through parts of Idaho as well, which my first time seeing Idaho. I mean, it's mostly farmland, so, or at least the parts that we had to drive through was farmland. Which is like, you know, kind of the same for California. So my voice kind of hurts. So I think that's all I'm gonna say about Yellowstone. It's worth going once, but for me, I'm like too sensitive to smells, so I can't go again. And you can see like bison and stuff. Is it bison? I think it is. And they're like really huge. Like even looking down from a bus, like a huge coach bus, they're just so huge. I can't imagine looking at them in like a regular car, because they're like halfway up the bus. Like that's super tall. That's like 10 feet. Isn't it 10 feet or something? At least 6 feet. So I'm like, oh, that's huge. I definitely do not want to be outside the car when they walk by, you know? So, yeah. Even though they're herbivores, but like, you know, they're huge. Huge animals. Okay, so that's the episode. Hope you guys get stuff done, and hopefully I can finish something by the next episode. Although that might be a tall order. So, alright, have fun, and happy knitting. Alright, bye.